Hallo en welkom bij mijn kanaal. Mijn naam is Darren en dit jaar 2024 leer ik Nederlands.
Waar kom je vandaan, Darren? En waarom leer je Nederlands?
Ja, ik kom uit de Verenigde Staten, maar ik woon in België al 10 jaar. Ik woon al 10 jaar in België. I don't
Ja,
know.
correct.
Ja,
Het laatste
en
was correct.
ja, dit is mijn eerste les in het Nederlands met iemand. En ja, ik wil het liefst zoveel mogelijk in Nederlands spreken, maar het is nog steeds heel moeilijk op mijn hoofd te spreken.
Dat was dus zaterdag 30 maart, de 90ste dag van mijn studieproject Nederlands. Dat was uit één van 3 lessen die ik de dag deed met 3 verschillende docenten op italki. Dit waren de eerste lessen Nederlands met een docent.
Misschien, ja, ik heb al gezegd dat mijn vrouw ze komt uit een Franstalige familie. Ik spreek Frans. En ja,
En dat gaat vloeiend? Je Frans is goed?
Ja.
Ja, ik spreek Frans. Het is in ieder geval beter dan mijn Nederlands. Up until now, the Dutch I spoke in these videos has been scripted, and although I do fully understand what it is that I'm saying, it's not something that's likely to come out of my mouth in an unplanned, unscripted situation. I recorded all the lessons on Saturday, at least I tried. The first 2 lessons I had, I failed to capture the voice of the speaker, so all you hear is my side of the conversation. In the 3rd lesson, I finally got it together, and that's what you heard at the very beginning. All 3 lessons were essentially the same. I just tried to speak about how and why I'm studying Dutch, and it all highlighted my very stilted and nervous Dutch speaking capabilities. Although the conversations were unplanned, I still, of course, went into it with a bunch of stuff I knew I could say, which is perfectly normal. But it highlights for me that in the early stages of learning a new language, speaking is more like parroting than actually producing language. I believe that this is mainly because one's vocabulary in the beginning, at least active vocabulary, is small and unstable at best. So most of what I said in the conversations was kind of the same stuff that I've already said in these videos up until now.
Vandaag, ik denk dat vandaag is de 90ste dag van mijn dagelijkse Nederlandse studie.
Je hebt al heel goede... You made a lot of progress. Je hebt goed vordering gemaakt.
Ja, bedankt voor het compliment.
All of the teachers responded with some amount of surprise when they learned that I had only been studying Dutch for 3 months. I repeated this information in every lesson because 1, it is relevant, and 2, I knew I would get a massive dopamine hit if the teacher was suitably impressed. I am indeed a dopamine junkie.
Dus voor de eerste 3 maanden mijn Nederlandse studie, ik heb gebruikt een methode die heet BDT. Het betekent Bi-Directional Translation.
I went on to describe the process that I used for the first 3 months. That is how I got to my current level. This was something I kind of worked on in Dutch, to be able to say this in Dutch, because it's something I wanted to be able to describe to people, not just in these lessons, but in general. And oddly, it is actually something I find weirdly difficult even in English.
Nou, de eerste stap is, lees je de tekst en zoek je de woorden op die je niet kent. Te begrijpen de tekst. Ja. Het doel is om de tekst te begrijpen, ja. En de tweede stap is analyseer je de intonatie en de uitspraak. Derde stap is een soort herlees, een review. Herlees je de tekst. Ja, en door te luisteren en te leren om je begrip te controleren. Ja. En het is een één etap elke dag. Ja. So je ziet de tekst over 6 dagen. En de vierde stap is vertaal je de tekst zo goed mogelijk naar je moedertaal. En dan 5 en 6, je vertaal je de vertaling in je moedertaal terug naar, in this case, Nederlands. Ja? So this is the process dat ik heb gebruikt voor de eerste 3 maanden.
So there you have it. That's where I'm at. That's what I sound like when I speak unscripted, spontaneous Dutch for what it is. And in the end, my kind of takeaway is that I still feel like speaking Dutch is not the priority for me at the moment. That might sound weird to say, but I think it's far more important now to continue to get massive exposure to the language through listening and reading, and to build my vocabulary. Now that the BDT process has come to an end, I am turning my focus to listening to and reading the transcripts of a really great podcast I've discovered called Dutch Today. I will leave a link in the description for this podcast in case there's someone watching who is also studying Dutch and is interested in finding material to listen to and to read. It's a wonderful podcast. And as I said earlier, this will be my way of getting a lot of exposure to natural spoken Dutch and to continue to build a good, solid vocabulary. I do plan to have lessons once a week, once every 10 days, and I will speak as much Dutch as I can, ask questions in Dutch as I can. But the more important thing for me is that the teachers themselves speak Dutch and only revert to English when is absolutely necessary. If you have been following along with these videos, you may be asking, but Darren, what about your journaling practice? Well, I will say that falls under the category of best laid plans. Since hyping this idea over the last few videos, I have been completely unable to make this a part of my routine. I thought I could do it, but I have not been able to make it a priority. It remains something important to me, and in fact, it is built into my study plan for for the foreseeable future. We'll see how it goes. It may come as a great surprise for you to find out that organization and discipline are 2 of the hardest things to do. Oh my God. So there you have it. Thank you again, of course, for watching this video. Please stay tuned. Please subscribe. Dank voor het kijken en tot in de volgende video.